This is the American Nation, and I'm your host, Sa Fong O'Fallon. What did you say? Oh, sorry, I wasn't listening. Now, if someone said any of the above to you, it can be flustering or annoying, depending on the importance of your message or the frequency of your attempts to say it. People want to be heard. People want to be able to speak their mind or just simply share what's in their heart. Hey, do you know what I bought for my husband as a wedding gift many years ago? I bought us cell phones so that we could communicate. Cell phones and services were not that affordable as they were now, but I understood back then that good communication between a couple was of utmost importance. Actually, good communication is essential between family, friends, and people in their communities, right? And while that truth is so simple to understand, it can be taken for granted. Being able to speak or express freely is of such essential importance. The founding fathers of the United States made freedom of speech as part of the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, thereby making it among our Bill of Rights. Many dutiful patriots have given their lives or livelihood to defend this right, so this freedom must be treated among one of the most precious things a human can possess. Of course, making threats to harm others is an abuse of this right and may result in appropriate repercussions. We understand that in some private businesses, you agree to refrain from saying certain things or you just don't partake in that business. This, of course, should be done with reasonable expectations, prudence, and rule of law. In today's day and age, the public town square where many people express their thoughts are on social media platforms. You hear users mention that their postings may be suppressed so that no one hardly sees it, or that they themselves may have been shadow banned, or even kicked off the platform. When this happens, it's because the message or the person shows a particular political or social viewpoint, but suppressing them seems plain wrong to me, right? Even worse is the coordinated suppression so that only one viewpoint is the one that really gets heard due to politicians persuading the social media companies to help with their propaganda, as revealed by the Twitter files. Lately, I'm hearing more and more people say that they are getting restricted in social media in various ways. Gee, we must have an election coming up soon, perhaps? But look, the social media platforms tried to silence the sitting president of the United States back in early January of 2021. And the reasons they cited didn't seem to jive with reality or reason. Yeah, that's if you ask me, or many others. Many highly qualified medical professionals were also banned from sharing their insights since the 2020 to 2021 pandemic. And many common people were prohibited from sharing these medical professionals' valuable insights. By suppressing these valuable insights, many people were not able to make informed decisions. But sadly, they were swayed by much propaganda that got the spotlight. The public seemed like they were not allowed to ask questions or challenge the position by the powers that be. But this made many wonder why you cannot do so. Why can't you question them? Because many understand the notion that the truth does not mind being questioned, but a lie does not like being questioned. This brings to mind Mr. Jimmy Lai, a 75-year-old British citizen billionaire who resides in Hong Kong, who is under severe persecution by communist China, wrongfully. Jimmy was only 12 years old when he fled Mao's treacherous Great Leap Forward in mainland China. He stowed away on a ship to Hong Kong and worked at a garment factory where he learned to speak English. Remember, he was only 12. He later started Giordano's Clothing and made himself a fortune. Jimmy then made sacrifices by starting up a pro-democracy newspaper called Apple Daily and selling pro-democracy shirts in support of the victims of the Tiananmen Square massacre that took place in China in 1989. So despite Jimmy's UK citizenship, this 75-year-old billionaire chose to remain in Hong Kong to expose the Chinese government's human rights abuses, including religious freedom abuses. Due to China imposing the national security law in 2020, they gave themselves the reason to jail Jimmy Lai as a threat to national security and thereby shut down his media. Other Hong Kong journalists who fled the city after Beijing imposed that national security law continue to campaign for press freedom for the city from overseas, but say that they're constantly targeted for their transnational repression by agents and supporters of the Chinese state, including secret Chinese police stations in a number of countries. These secret CCP police stations are not authorized by the countries they are operating in, and the United States is aware of at least 6 of them across the country, making recent arrests. Now, here's the key thing about this whole national security law imposed on Hong Kong. It should have never happened. China was supposed to leave Hong Kong with their independence and lifestyle until 2047, and this is per their 1984 Sino-British Joint Declaration Treaty regarding the handing back of Hong Kong to China in 1997 to be one country with 2 systems until 2047. Unfortunately, I don't think we can expect Britain to actually hold China accountable for this, even though Britain's present king had promised Hong Kong their liberty when speaking as the Prince of Wales at the 1997 handover. And you can find this on YouTube. I've got it on the link for those of you who are looking at the website, but you can search that also. I'm sure China's many violations of that 1984 treaty frustrated and devastated many Hong Kongers. Yet some may not be surprised since they know how ruthless the communists can be. It is known that the communists will force their way into whatever they want, defying whoever they can, because it's all about control. What is the lesson for us who have constitutional protections of our liberties? I would say that we constantly pay attention to what is happening around the world and in our own neighborhood, so our freedoms don't get taken away from us by deceivers who want globalism and hate our constitutional rights. Call them out. Call your elected officials to take action, and notify and inform your family and community to do the same. At the very least, throw sand in their gears. Per Dr. James Lindsay of New Discourses, he quotes, "One of the most powerful tactics against totalitarianism, one that worked to stop regimes from taking over and that broke existing regimes from within. It's a simple strategy of throwing sands in the gears." You can listen to more quick detail in his audio. That would be on newdiscourses.com, and just do a search for the audio called Sand in the Gears. So keep learning the truth and keep sharing the truth, and the truth will keep us all free. I'm Safong O'Fallon, and I'll see you next time at the American Asian. Have a great day.